Hi everyone, this is Tanya. Welcome to Healing Minds. In this video, I want to share what the world is going through now. So, have you ever felt like the world is pulling us further apart? Whether it's over politics, the values, or just how we see the world. You know this, and you've seen this. Everyone is aware of this. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Today, I'm going to talk about division, understanding, and why cutting people out because of differing opinions might be hurting us rather than helping us. So, this isn't about changing somebody's mind. Oh, I'm going to change my family member's mind or my friend's mind. No, it's not about changing their mind. It's about how do we relate to each other? How do we approach each other? Even if we passionately disagree about something, especially a political issue, there's still, you can do this with integrity. Is that the best word for it? I don't know. So stick around. This might change how you see conflict and connection. So I would consider this a hot topic in the world right now. And division and its impact on us. So when you shut people out, you can shut people out. Oh, I'm shutting this family member out. Oh, I don't like them. I'm shutting this friend out, this neighbor out. Because you guys think differently, you're not solving the issue. You're just widening the gap. You're just creating more distance and friction. So, studies have shown that our brains are wired to seek belonging. Okay? We all want to belong somewhere. But when we're constantly in a battle of us versus them mode, it triggers stress in people, resentment, and even depression. So it can play a number on your mental health. So instead of creating understanding, we're building these walls and making us stuck, even more tense and more angry about it. So just think about somebody that you care about deeply. Anyone. You're not just losing a conversation with them by immediately Xing them out. You're losing a connection with them because you're thinking, oh, X, you don't have the same belief as me, and oh, we're not eye to eye on an issue. So all of a sudden, you don't matter anymore. But let's be realistic about this also. Disagreement is normal, and it's not always about being, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm wrong, you're right. It's about understanding why. Why is the question. Why do you think that way? Okay, conversation starter. What's your story? I want to know about your story. That's why you've come up with this belief. What's shaped your belief? So when you approach a conversation with curiosity instead of anger and bad language and bad temper, and without all this judgment, you're creating a bit bridge. Even if you don't agree with them, at least you're not going to be, see this a lot about social media, name calling with strangers. I mean, this is some stranger that doesn't even know you. You don't even know who you are, what you've been through, anything about. Oh, I think I'm just going to call them a name because that's the easy way out to call them a name when they don't have the same belief as me. It's like going back to elementary school when I used to be an elementary school teacher, actually. It's that rule of, oh, no name calling, respecting the other students, and good listening. Oh, please, even adults don't follow those rules. So forget that. That's like not something we really see in this world today by a lot of people. So the next time that you have the urge to shut someone down, because you're thinking, oh, it's about me and it's about only my beliefs. And oh, how dare them be different from me? You can pause and ask, what can I learn about their perspective? You know, they have a different life than me, different culture, different value, different everything. Instead of shutting them out, and I don't need to accept what they're saying, but I can actually understand them. So that creates empathy. You don't look like some vulture or some resentful, angry person because you're shutting someone out because they're different than you. And continuing about this topic is this election cycle that we've all been through that can create a lot of stress or create a lot of stress for people. But then there's a lot of people that, I don't know who actually, creates a lot of joy and they feel like a winner or somehow they've won some kind of contest, whatever it is. And it's just normal to know that election cycles are going to be emotionally charged and they're going to cause deep emotions within different people, even if the emotions differ, like, oh, happiness and excitement, stress and anxiety. Okay, you're going to have polar opposites and it's going to be highly charged. Okay, so whether you're the empowered person, oh, I feel on top of the world, or the person that feels a lot of anxiety and depression over it, both your emotions are yours only. And you don't have to see eye to eye with someone else. It's just like anything in life. If you go through a challenging traumatic event, you're going to go through hard times and be anxious, and as opposed to someone else, maybe they feel like they're going through happy times and they won't be able to relate to you. But that being said, I'm thinking of how can this benefit you, and it can benefit you no matter what side you are, what emotions you are going through, because it's always you can do your part. You can still passionately advocate for something that you believe in without tearing others down because they feel like, well, that's not my life. I don't believe in that. That has nothing to do with me. Okay, but you still have that right for advocacy, and advocacy does not require animosity. It requires your courage, your patience, and your understanding, and understanding that we all see the world in different lenses. You know, whether it's our social class, culture, age, experience, everyone's going to be unique. And understanding that, but that does not mean you don't stop advocating for issues that are important to you. Whether it's important to a friend or a family member or not, who cares? It's still important to you. That's what should matter. And instead of attacking people, because when you attack someone's beliefs, their brain goes into defense mode. So, of course, they're going to get angry. They're going to start with the name calling. They're going to be shutting down for any chance of a productive dialogue. So, you need to focus on how can you bring unity, diplomacy, the desire to improve things because you really need each other. Even, you know, even if you have differing beliefs, you guys still need each other. It's like you are still living in the same world, really. Even though mentally you feel like, oh, I'm not living in the same world as you. And so instead of always acting like, oh, I need to be the winner, or maybe not you, or you know of somebody that's always like they want to feel like, oh, I'm the winner of the argument because it's all about me, 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 me. You ask, how can I make this moment constructive? Having a conversation with them. I get it. A lot of times that's not possible because, trust me, I have experienced people like that. They're just like, I don't want to hear you because right now I'm in my trauma or my trauma or I'm in my glory. So it doesn't matter what you say. We get those kind of people. And sometimes those kind of people, just unfortunately, you cannot speak or have the conversation with and you just let it be. So reframing your political conversations, you can start by saying, like, I see where you're coming from. It's like you see other people's perspectives. But here's what's important to me. And so, how do you see this? Without name calling or saying that, oh, how dare you? I'm not going to talk to you ever again. I know you've been my friend for 20 years and you've done so much for me, but just that one belief, oh, it's over. No. Creating dialogue and perspective should create more respect for each other, saying, I still value you as a person because you have such good qualities, and it's okay because we have something that's not similar in belief, but you're still valuable in other ways, if you know what I'm talking about. But moving forward, day by day, there's empowering, actionable steps that you can do when you are moving forward during polarizing times. You start small. You focus first on issues that matter to you. You already know what those are. If you don't, you can just kind of write them down on paper. Think about, oh, does healthcare matter to me? Is it education? Is it abortion? Is it immigration? Is it climate change? Is it finally getting those tax cuts that are so important to me? You know yourself. You know what you're doing in life, your lifestyle. What has impacted you? You've done your research. You've kept track. Keep track of the progress, and ask yourself, what's a small actionable step I can do to contribute to that change that is important to me? What can I do? So whether it's signing a petition, starting a petition, attending a local community meeting, just staying informed with the news, your voice matters, communicating it, to your congressman or people that are supposed to be the change makers. And I understand you can still feel unheard. It's not like everything works in everyone's favor. You still don't give up in your values, as it does take time. And it just starts with individuals like you. You show up day to day and you do that, what's important to you based on your integrity, values, your character, always doing the right thing. So what you can do right now is just write down one issue that you're passionate about and list 3 things that you can do, whether today, this week, this month, to keep abreast of what's going on with that issue and understanding what the future administration will do, maybe to help the issue, or if they don't help to improve the issue, what can you do to hold people accountable, or writing letters or doing something to say that this was overlooked? What can we do about it? It's just having a voice and taking action. And also, I want you to understand maintaining relationships despite political differences is very important. And I know I've seen this on social media. Oh, I'm not talking to my longtime friend or family member, but because of politics. And it's just so unjust and mean, because are you really willing to lose somebody who stood by you in tough times over something as silly as an election cycle of differing political beliefs? And like, these political parties really don't care about your personal relationships with friends or family. They could care less. They've got their own friends and family to worry about. And it's just a loss for you when you've had a good family member for a very long time, and being present there and just like saying, okay, well, all those 30, 40 years didn't matter, but you're cut off just because of a silly little political view, which you never know what's going to happen with it anyway. So you're more than politics. This world shouldn't just be all about politics. Everything has just been made political. You're still a human being, You have a history, you've shared support, laughs. You're more than a debate with a family member, you know. Instead of finding things that, hey, these are the connections we still have, even if we don't see eye to eye with certain issues. You know, maybe it could be sports, movies, hobbies, anything but politics, please. Oh, that's me, actually. I'm like an anything but politics type of person, but sometimes it's just forced upon you and you're thinking, no, not me, please, no, not me. But all of us, even me, have issues that are important to us because it has impacted my personal life. And that's whether somebody cares or not, it's because it's my personal life. That's like, it's your personal life. So sticking with things you still have in common and you still like about people in your life creates positive emotions in your brain. It reduces the anger, it reduces the resentment. You don't have to agree with each other, but you can still cherish your family member. Trust me, I've been through this. I've been through family members where it's just like in disguise, and all of a sudden they're resentful, and you're thinking, resentful of what? What have I done wrong? You haven't done anything wrong. Just some people are wired that way. They just have this sense of superiority. Oh, I have to be better. I have to be right all the time. And it's best to cut communications because I don't want the other person to show that they can possibly be right or have a view. So fortunately, you may come across of those times, and the barriers of communication will not be resurrected with some family and friends. So if you feel like you have distanced yourself from somebody from this, from a family member or friend, how is a way you can reach out to them? Maybe you haven't spoken in a year, two, or more, and you're thinking, why is it that I have anger or resentment over them? Have I heard them speak? Have I even talked to them and asked them what's going on? Or did I miss you? Can we like reconnect, or can we rebuild something? Have you really even spoken to them? Have you even had an understanding instead of holding grudges and resentment and anger when you haven't even spoken to the person? And it can be totally opposite of what you even have in your mind. So that is something that you can think about in your personal life. So in conclusion, just remember, division doesn't heal anyone. It just makes them feel more anxious and depressed, and it deepens their wound. You don't want to be that kind of person. You don't want to be the person deepening somebody else's wound. But listening to them, understanding them, and choosing a connection over having conflict creates more unity and understanding and friendliness. So you can start today, you know, depending on what your life is, and just showing up for people that you need to show up with instead of looking at them as, oh, enemies, oh, you're such an enemy, but just as a human being. And I hope this message resonates you, but please, you know, there's only so much I can say. Share in the comments if you have more views on this topic. And the world doesn't just change by just one person like me talking, especially me talking, but it changes when we share and we come together and everyone shares the point of view, no matter of anything, really, just being human. So create more empathy in this world and kindness. That's all I have to say, really, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. Until next time, make it a good day, even if it's not a good day. Give yourself peace for your bad days to have the good days. Okay? Take care, everyone. Bye.